I soon forgot and seen. We met in a dream, a world slipped through the sea. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna leave, but I am waking, unmaking everything. Forget your face, I'll soon forget your faces. I'll soon forget your face. I'll soon forget your faces. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to be. Three persons, one body. Three persons, one mind. Three persons, one body. One body divide. Will I recall the failing so severe? The failings of my soul, they're slipping through my hand. I'm doomed to repeat this hell in my sleep. I'll lie to myself, unmaking everything. Your face, I'll soon forget your faces. I'll soon forget your face. I'll soon forget your faces. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to be. Three persons, one body. Three persons, one mind. Three persons, one body. One body bye-bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and on I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Soul Survivor, a postmodern TTRPG. And you definitely know it's late at night because we're listening to Russian Doomer music. Yes. So, what are we doing today? Well. As you can see, it is a Notepad Must Die stream. That means we're going until it's fucking done. And what we need to do is combat. Today is combat day, and I'm ready for combat day. I'm not ready for combat day. So what happened from last time? Well, I added the power of the soul section. As I was discussing last time, I want to give people powers similar to the get powers of the game, and this was the final result. You get 25 power points, and I tell you to go nuts and make your own powers. I'm gonna have to do the status element. I know how to do this. It's just gonna be me having to make a little fucking chart. It's annoying. But yes, if you want to make your very own power, it's right here. There aren't too many to worry about. Not really the point about them, though. The point isn't really there. I also added in the ability to play the LARP as Rory if you want. If you want to LARP as Rory, it's right here. You can even have the stand tall stance, which just adds all your AE to your HP. But you can use your HP as AE. Ta-da! That's it. That's gaming. I did this last night. This was fun. As you can see, Marcus here. As you can see, Otacon. He's got his 2 abilities. As you can see, he's got Galga, in which he can use his psionic offense to not do a lot of damage, but it's pretty much an AoE ability he can cast. It only costs him 5 AE to do it, but it's pretty reliable. Same to his major ability, which is the Otaku Neural Network, which pretty much allows him to, for 5 aura energy, fix literally anything mechanical or electrical. Doesn't matter what it is, he can fix it. The only issue is that it takes a lot out of him, and he's just kind of a weird dude. So, what is combat? What is Das Combat? Well, combat's weird. That's why I wanted to kind of dedicate an entire day to doing combat stuff, because it is going to be a long time. It's just not going to be fun. It's just going to be me like sitting here staring at a document. And in case people are like, why aren't you playing Yik or something? This is what I do usually. Right? I'm playing Yik in reality. However, otherwise known as a tabletop game. I did go through with one of my friends. And we made a character together just to see if everything worked correctly. And it worked pretty well. There are some small issues, but nothing too bad. Mostly when it comes down to like naming of things. And kind of, it's a weird game to kind of set up. Let's just say that. But yeah, that's just let's grind it out. All right, this is it. This is gonna be fun. Let's do it. So combat. So when the heroes engage in battle with a hostile, they will enter the combat phase. This is the most dangerous part of the hero's adventures. The hero's journey. Let's see. The most dangerous part of the hero's journey, where they can and will. Hello, phone. Most likely get injured. See, unfortunately, if I wanted the true Yik experience, what I would do is just at the end of every round, you just stab yourself with a pencil or something. Being like, oh wow, that was fun. Stab. Ah! But I don't hate you all that much. You may be wondering also, Notepad, why are you streaming this late at night? And the answer is very simple. I was watching a video. I kind of got caught up watching a video on Uncharted 4. Bricky put out a video. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this real fast. It won't be very long. I'll stop at 8. It wasn't until 8. Let's see. The most dangerous part of the hero journey. They can and will most likely get injured. Okay, so combat begins. Let's see. When combat begins, each of the heroes will. Actually, how do I want to word this? No, okay, we're going to break it down. What we need to break it down into initiative and speed. We need to break, actually, no, speed, no, we do turns and rounds, broken down then to initiative and speed. What's a turn and a round? What's an initiative and what's speed? Then we go on to, what else would we, I feel like there's something else I need to go on here. I need to start off with something. Oh, line combat. This fun fact, we're using fairly traditional line combat in this game, and luckily for me, I already have a system for this where I can slot it in pretty nicely because when in doubt, just reuse shit you already did. Because why reinvent the wheel? Always remember that, kids. Do not reinvent the wheel when you do not need to. So turns and rounds, initiative and speed, line combats. I guess we go into combat proper. So we need to do lines and turns and rounds. Let's see. The combat phase is divided into turns and rounds. Turns and rounds. A turn is in individual characters. Hostile, actually hero or hostile characters action during action. Let's see. A turn is an individual character's action during that action while the round is the combined turns of all the characters' actions. Hello, phone. Each round is assumed to be about, how long would you think? 30 seconds. I'd say 15 seconds. Let's be conservative. Let's say about 10 seconds. So that if we do 10 seconds, that means everyone has a reasonable time to get their turns ready, as well as kind of, because we're cutting out movement, like direct, like mechanical movement. We're going to bump it up to 10 seconds to kind of justify, like, you're kind of moving around. You're not actually just standing in a fucking line. You're kind of maneuvering around. You're walking around and doing stuff. It's just you're being represented. It's an abstraction to make things easier, because that's what we want in this game. Make things easier. Each round is assumed to be around 10 seconds of time. 10 seconds of time. However, in Soul Space, time flows differently. When an effect states that it ends at the end of the turn, it is signifying the end of the when it effects says the end of the term, it is actually, no, I don't need this. When the end of the round occur, actually the end of the round has many effects and or trigger any effect. Yeah, so at the end of the round, it has many effects and or trigger, allowing a no. From there, the next round will begin at the top of the initiative order. There we go, and then we do initiative. The sequence of turns in a round is dictated by the initiative. Actually, is dictated by the speed of the characters. by the characters in the battle. Actually, we do speed and initiative. Let's see. So, sequence of turns and end around is dictated by the speed of the character in the battle. How do I want to word this? Sequence of turns dictated by the speed of the characters in battle. The character with the highest speed will act first. The character with the highest speed will act first, allowing followed by and then proceed in a descending order. If a character has their speed augmented mid-round to be higher than the current character. Actually, character has their speed augmented mid-round. They will either act next. Actually, they will slot into position equal to their current speed. If it is, there we go. Actually, if two or more characters are tied in speed, this Fraggle Rock. It's one of those things where you have to state these things, because if you state these things, you don't have to worry about it too much, and you no longer ever have to. Two or more characters are tied in speed. The heroes will always act first. See, the heroes will always act first. If two heroes are tied, then they will act, quote, simultaneous. And they will act simultaneously. By choosing who goes first. The same goes for two hostiles. I'm suspecting that's gonna probably change over time. That's the big thing. I think over time that's gonna change. Where I think you're going to get some people who are going to invest a lot to want to go first, and you're going to get some people who are not, because you have to be strong and flowy. You're high in physical and high in flowy. That means you're going to be acting first. Most likely, from what I've done for all the testing, physicality gets chosen quite a bit. Flowy, not so much. Kind of depends on what you're going for, but physicality is usually pretty good. The only issue is physicality isn't really good in the field, and that's kind of one of the bigger issues with that particular aspect, which I guess that works. But in this kind of game, I would be going for. I always try to think of what kind of character I would make, and unfortunately, I would make Marcus, And because Marcus is the exact kind of character I would make usually, who is just a big old fucking nerd who just spams spells at his problems and gets sad when he runs out of AE. It was dictated, and then we go to Midnight Anima, because Midnight Anima probably has the best rendition of the line combat system. So I'm literally going to have to make a new line. I could probably, put it in speed initiative, and then you put it like right here. As you can tell, it does not like being this size. Yeah, this is going to have to get changed, but I'm just going to put it here for reference. Like, line combat in general, the idea behind it is that you have 3 lines. You have the front line, the back line, and the retreat line. If you're in the front line, that means you can get hit by melee attacks, melee and range attacks. If you're in the back line, you can only get hit by range attacks. And if you're in the retreat line, you can only get hit by range attacks, but you're trying to fuck off. If the front line is gone, everyone moves up a line. That does mean, like, there comes a point where if you're trying to retreat and your front line kind of goes, you're a little bit fucked. So you always kind of need someone to be a little bit of a sacrificial lamb in that regard. The goal here is to have, like, oh, I'm playing a range character, you're in the back line. Hey, I'm playing a frontline character, you're in the front line. That kind of idea should work in theory. Should work, but each side has a line of position, both sides being on the opposite sides of the field. There's front line and the back line for both the heroes and the hostiles. Technically, this would be if characters in the front line, they can be both make range attacks. Back line, they can be targeted by range attacks. Combatants in the back line cannot use melee attacks. However, cannot use melee attacks, being restricted to range attack. If there are no combatants in the front line, all the back line combatants move to the front line. There's the third line behind the back line called retreat zone. The combatant moves to the retreat zone at the end of the round. They will leave battle, having run away. If there's no back line, then the retreat line moves into the back line. There we go. Again, when in doubt, steal your own shit. There is no sin in stealing your own shit. Or should I say, Kenshi Oyumai's shit. Ha ha ha. Look, it's funny because it says Kenshi Oyumai here, even though it's not him. Because Kenshi Oyumai doesn't exist. So we've done line combat. Now we get to do the really weird, wonky stuff. This is all the basic information we need to, like, line up and do this. So next we get to go on to here. So combat. Roll, keep, hit. Roll, keep, hits. When engaging in combat, the nature of the battle, the nature of the situation changes to a life and death struggle. So, a hero, when it is no, we'll do this entire section because this is important, because roll, keep, hits. Life changes to a life and death struggle. The hero's classes attributes come into play here. Period. Whenever so comes into play here. A hero choosing to attack on their turn will take their off mel, off psi, or off range attribute. Roll the number of corresponding ego die. Roll the number of corresponding ego die, and then count the number of successes against a hostile's defense attribute. Defense. For example, Marcus Nemens is using his offensive range to actually use, let's say something. He's using his PSI, his offensive PSI, using his offensive PSI 4 to make an attack against a, what would be a, we'll call him Smiley, against a Smiley hostile with a defense of 2. Marcus takes 4D for offense. 4D, I believe he has a 4 in there. Yeah. Marcus takes 44. Actually, Marcus, it's hostiles defenses. From there, they will need to decide. They are making a light or heavy attack. A light attack adds the millennial die to their dice pool. Let's see. The light attack adds the millennial die to their dice pool, while a heavy attack does not. Well, heavy attack does not. However, heavy attacks have higher damage per hit. For example, Marcus Nemens is using his offensive psi to make an attack against a Smiley hostile with a defense of 2. He chooses to make a light attack with his. He chooses to make a light attack with a damage of 1. He rolls 1d20 plus 4d4. It is enigmatic. He rolls 1d20 plus 4d4. So let's take this. I should have used his d6, by the way, but he doesn't have that many. Built this character. Let's see if I can fish up a bunch of d4s in my little dice bag here. See, if I want to get really autistic, what I could do is just like sort out all my dice properly. But that takes time, and this is called dice ASMR. Notepad, go. Oh, I dropped one die. One die is on the floor, and I will step on it at like 2 in the morning. It's gonna be great. Come on. Where are some d4s? You never find d4s when you need them. I know, like, why don't you just use d8s? Because it's not the same idea. Come on. I know you're in here. That's a d8. That's another d8. You're all gonna be at the bottom, aren't you? Because that's how it always goes with these damn. Okay. Ow. I stuck my finger in there, and I think that's one. Oh, that's another one gone. Another d4. You think I would have like prepared for this ahead of time? No. I play things fast and loose on this stream, baby. Let me just. Come on, I know it's in there. Oh, okay, I just stabbed myself with one. There we go. I did it, everyone. I found 4d4s in my giant thing of fucking reject dice. Yeah, because fun fact, everyone, I bought all my dice. If it's not slow, it doesn't require at least 5 different rolls. Organize your shit. No, I have just a giant bag of dice. So let's say again, we're doing our sample. We're doing our little sample roll. We have a defense of 2, and we're gonna roll 1d20 plus 4d4. Let's see, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5 hits. Cool. Let me just impale myself on this. Actually, what I'll do is I'll use it as an example. We'll do that. So he rolls on his enigmatic die, scoring a 3, 3, 1, 4, and 7 and 10. He would score 1, 2, 3. He would score 4 hit. He would score 4 hits, 4 damage, 4 damage. He would score 4 hits, 4 damage against the smiley. If he would have made a heavy attack, damage 2, he would have hit only 3 times, but deal 6 damage. There we go. Pretty much the basic gist of how this goes is the back and forth of trying to reason out what you're doing at all times. Because it's a roll and keep system at the end of the day, with different combat values and different weapons as well. That's the beautiful thing. That's where things start getting fun. So he would score 4 hits against Smiley. So, a hero. I need a hero. Hero till the end of the night. Actually, a hero who needs to defend themselves from a hostile attack will take their defense physical, or defense PSY, defense PSI die, attribute, roll the number of corresponding ego die, and then count the number of successes against a hostile against the number of the hostiles attacks they are making. Hostile, not hostels, hostiles, not hostels. I do not need you to fucking, there we go, hostiles. Hostiles will also, actually some hostile, let's say some hostile attacks will have a quote unblockable. We'll have an unblockable tag associated with them, meaning that the hero does not add. Meaning that the hero meaning that the hero will take a minimum amount of damage. Every defense check will always have the hero roll the millennium die. We'll have the rule. Every defense check will have the hero roll the millennium die. If they are, well, every defense check will always have the hero roll the millennium die. So then we do, for example, Marcus Nemens is being attacked by a smiley hostile's bite attack, which deals 2 times 2 damage. Which deals 2 times 2 damage. 2 damage twice. He needs to block it. That's his goal. He needs to block that damage. So let's double check Marcus's stats. He's going to need me to make a defense check. He needs to roll physical defense. Technically, these should be the other way around. I'll fix that. He needs to make a physical defense check, which he has literally fucking 0 with. Twice. Marcus does not have any physical defense, but he will still roll the millennial die, scoring a, let's see, d20. Actually, some hostile attacks. And roll the corresponding ego die and then count the number of successes against the hostile's attack rating and number of them they are making. For example, which deals 2 times 2 damage with a attack rating of 2 with attack rating of 3. With an attack rating of 3. Actually, we'll say 2. Nice and simple. Roll above a 2 on a d20 doesn't seem that like impressive. But roll the 16. But he still rolls the millennial die, scoring a 16, blocking one hit. Marcus takes 2 damage. So the idea here, this is the core concept. They're like an enemy stat block is going to look something like let's say a smiley is going to have like a defense 2, attack 2, and he's going to have like the bite attack, which is going to look like this, and he's also going to have like a slam attack, which is going to do like 4 damage, it's going to do actually like 1 damage like 5 times. So someone who is like really good at defending themselves can be like, oh, this is gonna be super simple. I need to roll above a 2 pretty reliably, and that's pretty simple. While someone like Marcus, who can't defend himself, will block about 1 attack and get slammed by the others. Like he's going to take maybe about 4. He's going to take about 4 damage. But hopefully, again, the idea is, again, I can't really represent fucking Yick's bar going down and then you having to hit a button prompt to dodge or get a defense up. Can't really represent that, but I can sure as hell kind of try. So let's see. So physical attacks, but you still roll millennium die, scoring 16, blocking 1 hit. Marcus takes 2 damage. Ouch. Mostly because he has 10 HP, and that's a fifth of his health taken away by one attack. I'll probably do like a diagram here, maybe, of like how this works, because it's effectively like this is a completely separate fucking system. This is effectively a roll and keep system. So actually, what we can do is we want to do actions in combat. The hero. What is the hero when it is the hero's turn? They may choose to perform a single. They may choose a single action, their choice. And we're going to make this pretty simple. Actually, we're going to get a little chart out because we like tables. We like tables, everybody. We want to do the action and we want to have the effect. We want to have the action and we want to have the effect. Something like this. So action, our basic action is always going to be, of course, attacking. Nice and simple. Attacking. Let's see. So attacking. The hero uses their weapon. Use their weapon to attack a. Actually, no. What we can do is we'll do light attack. The hero. Actually, no. We got to do this right. Attack light, or do we know? No, we do attack. The hero chooses to strike a target. Actually, no. We can't put it in a table. We got to put it like. Attacking the hero chooses to attack a target. They will roll the corresponding offensive attribute. They will roll the corresponding attribute in either a light or heavy attack. Light, add millennial die. For heavy attack, do not add millennial die. There we go. Not add the millennial die, so we want to do a ranged. Actually, this looks terrible, but let's do ranged attack. With their weapon, strikes within distance using their weapon. May attack from the front or back line. Attack from the front or back line. Melee attack. Strikes from up close. Strikes from up close with their weapon. May attack from the front line. Anima attack. Next, we want to do aura attack. Actually, aura attack. The hero. And uses their aura to inflict damage on the enemy. Spend 1 AE. Spend 1 AE. You really think about a time gauge is just a meta currency. Honestly, if I wanted to be real cursed, I could probably do something like that, but it's like, okay, let's do, actually, we want to do the defend action. The hero chooses to defend themselves. Actually, to defend themselves from an attack. It will add plus 2d6 to their next defense action. to their next defense action. Plus 2d6 to their next defense action. That's pretty much it. Defending is not useful. That's the big idea with defending. It's not really super useful. However, we have recovery. The hero who is affected by a status effect. Let's see, the hero who's affected by a status effect, or status ailment. Ailment removes the status ailment. Item. The hero uses an item in their possession. Or converts treasure into an item to use. Let's see some other ones that we have. Actually, we can do move. The hero moves a line. Front, back, retreat. Front, back, retreat. Kind of the idea of, like, if you're in the front line, you can only move to the back line. If you're in the back line, you can kind of move both. And if you're in the retreat line, you can only move to the back line. Pretty simple. What other ones are we having? Again, this isn't one of those games where you can actually have that many options, like honest to God options. Actually, power. The hero uses a power in their actually uses a power they have access to. They have access to spending the AE cost to perform it. I'm attacking someone, I'm defending myself, I'm recovering, I'm using an item, I'm moving, I'm using a power, I am what am I using? What am I seeing here? Here's at this doubles our current speed, but can only attack. Their damage by +2, +4, but reducing their own HP by half. That weakened elements: sleep, silenced, drain, confused, attribute down, skill up. I guess we could also add the all-important other. The hero performs in action that actually performs a complicated action. Let's see, the hero performs a complicated action. May require a check. I feel like I'm missing something here. But I know I'm not. That's the worst part. I'm missing something. What am I missing? Tell me what game. What am I missing? What is not working? Actually, what I should do is because I forgot to add this, and I'm just reminded that I should add it now. Pull the target. The target is pulled forward pulled forward into the line up from them, retreat into backline, or backline into front line. 5, and then we do push. The target is pushed back into a line behind them, front line to back line. Pretty much that's just used for shoving people into the back line, which doesn't seem very useful until you're like, wait a second. They can use this for these range enemies these melee enemies can no longer attack us until they are like deliberately moving up. Let's see, we got all this. The dungeon defined phase, aura's fine, minor tools, Nemons. What am I missing? Dodge. Because the idea behind dodge is pretty much like it's right here. The idea being like if you fully do it, if you are successful with it and you block all the damage, you're dodging, you're getting out of the way. That's kind of the idea. If you hit the fence up, you block some of the damage. If you fail it, you just didn't roll any of the successes. Again, if I wanted to be specific about it, what I could do is I could cut the defense, like you will always roll the Millennium die aspect, and being like, if they're rolling light damage, then you get to roll the Millennium die. If they aren't, then you are actually okay. I know. Let's see. Enemy attacks can be either a light or a heavy variety. Let's see. A light or a heavy variety. A light attack allows the hero to use the Millennium die. While a heavy attack prevents them from doing so. So, basic concepts in place. Oh no, I'm being attacked by something light. It's going to only do 2 damage. I roll my die. I rolled an 18. I block it. I block 1 hit of it. Awesome. Oh no, it's a heavy attack. I don't have anything. I'm just going to get fucking slammed by it. There's nothing I can really do about it. Because this is an attack coming right for my asshole, and it's like, well, I'm fucked anyway I look at it. Because I'm not designed to combat this, or something like that. Let's see. Something doesn't feel right. Something is not here. What is not here? This felt like it should be a lot more complicated than it actually is. Because if this is it, unless we do like a full-on like how this is going to play out, because I don't really think this is a complicated system. I think it's just going to be a little bit. I think it's awkward currently because you might not be rolling that many die. I guess we can do enemy design. Because if we use this being the idea of like that's just combat. Like combat's like relatively simple. Combat isn't supposed to be very complicated. That's not the point of combat. Combat is supposed to be a means to an end to tell the story. However, what do we do for enemies? Things get a little bit complicated. Attacking, defending, we do this real fast. Sort of paragraph A to Z. We don't need to do that up here, actually. feels like this should be highlighted a little bit more, and I feel like I can write this out better, but I don't know how to write it out better. It's pretty much like the idea, like, you can always use your melee, you can always use a melee attack, you can always use a range attack, or you can always use an aura attack. Unless I drop the aura attack. If I drop the aura attack, we drop the aura attack, and then we do, so what I should do is applying aura, applying a side note, AE in combat. Outside of powers, AE can be spent normally. Actually, AE can be spent normally to add +1 to the millennial die. See, can be spent normally to add +1 to the millennial. Actually, I know what we can do. Outside, we're just going to do AE in combat. We're going to put it right. We make you smaller. We put you right there. Then right down here we put AE in combat. AE in combat, and then what we can do outside of powers, AE can be spent to add a +1 to any die up to its maximum. Meaning that a hero who rolled a 2, 4, 5, and 6 on a d6 could increase their 5 to a 6, but not their 6 to a 7. Not their 6 to a 7. This rule also applies to the, let's see, this rule also applies to the millennial die. Pretty much, if you roll a 20, you can't, like, you can increase your millennial die value, or you can increase any of your die values, but it's like you're spending AE, which AE you may not have. So AE, even if characters aren't really using it super hard, they have a little bit more value for it. Let's do. Actually, AE can also be used as a direct attack. Spending 1 AE to quote buy a let's see, offensive. Let's see. I want to make an AE attack real fast. Again, it's not. I want the idea being like it's very inefficient for you to do this particular thing. But if we do offensive psi, which we can do. By a OFF PSI, a offensive psi ability, psi attack, you buy OFF psi attack, dealing 1 2 damage, but can also spend in additional 2 AE, an additional 2 AE to increase it by +1. We do footnote. For example, I can buy a 1 AE. I can buy in off PSI attack for 1 AE and then spend 2 AE to make it. It would be 2 3 to make it 2/3 damage, not 2/3, 2 space dash 3 damage for a total of 3 AE, which isn't really efficient. That's the problem. It's not really efficient. Good morning, Manly. Good night, Draco. Good afternoon, Safin. Dobre odpoledne, dobre rano, and dobre večer. That's Czech. Why I'm learning Czech, I don't know. Though saying good afternoon is very fun because it's dobre odpoledne. And it's a fun word to say. Though the one weird thing with Czech, this is the one weird thing with the Czech language, is you end up with dobre, dobra, and dobry. Those are like 3 different ways of saying good in just different contexts. And it's infuriating at points. It's like, oh, dobre rano, okay, that makes sense. Dobry rano, very different. You fucking idiot. Why have you said it that way? You are a moron. I'm like, I don't want, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Duo. Please don't hurt me and my family. Duo, please. I'm a good boy. So then we do, the hero of man's, hero. Directly assaults the hostile with their AE. So that's one of the big things with AE, is that you can actually attack the retreat line with it. However, must spend 1 AE. That's one of the big issues with it, though, is that you can kind of attack the back line, the retreat line. However, you are putting yourself at risk. Czech. The thing is, Czech was from somebody in another server, the Autism and Assholes. I can't remember his name. I'm a fucking idiot. I talk to him all the time. I kind of just was like, yeah, I'll fucking learn Czech. So I've been kind of like going on it. I understand most of it. Like sometimes it makes complete sense. Other times it's fucking nonsense. Like hezký víkend. Have a nice weekend. Perfect. Hezký, you know, hezký, it would be a hezký, what's a, trying to think of the proper, I'm having a fucking stroke right now. I'm sorry, everyone. Hezký, deti? Hezký deti? Would be just be a good kid. That makes sense. Cool. Then there are other times, like, they're trying to introduce, like, yeah, they're, Slavic language, we have gendered words. And sometimes the gendered words make sense, other times they don't. Because we have also, like, on, ona, and oni. Those are completely different, and it's like, fucking gendered words. Because, like, I heard that, like, the big thing with Czech is that it has German, it's Eastern European logic, but has German, not pronunciation, but has German, linguistics. So it's like, oh, Czech is not actually, if you want to learn a Slavic language, Czech is pretty easy. So it's like, cool. Like, here's one weird thing, Draco. You gotta remember, gendered language is way more common than non-gendered language. Like, it's way, way more common. Yeah, most languages have gendered words. It's really only, like, really Germanic languages like English and German. I don't believe they have, like obviously German has gendered words, but it's not, like, as bad as other places. Like, almost every Romance language does. Like, I remember once, like, the French, like, the French way of saying table is technically a feminine variation of it. Like, English is weird. I did an entire fucking report on English before. Alright, once the last start coming to the US, there will be an inexplicable move in degender Slavic language like there was with Spanish. Nah, that ain't happening. They don't give a shit, trust me. I think, like one of the harder things is, like, the only people, here's the thing, the only people who really give a shit, about, like, oh no, there's gendered language, are people who usually speak American. I specifically say American, not English, American. And they have never been anywhere else. And if they have been anywhere else, they're the kind of person who, like, post about it on their fucking Instagram. It's, yeah, it's, you know, like, oh, Latinx. I don't get Latinx. Never have. It always felt like more like, I always felt like that was more slurry. I don't know if that makes sense. It was more like, this feels like a slur than anything else. Like, yeah, Latinx. It was just like, huh? Like, it just feels weird. Why don't you just use Latin? Yeah, they're Latin. Like, I can kind of get that. Like, not Latinx. Oh, yeah, the Latinx. Like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, we don't. It's kind of a parody. See, people are getting mad about black in Spanish. Oh yeah, no, Manly. In case you want, yes, there's been quite a few different, like, more linguistic movements. I will say the French are based in red pilled because effectively, French is actually very fascinating because, like, French I believe it's like Academy. Yeah, okay, there we go. Académie Française. Like, this is an entire, like, effectively, like, building. Effectively, like, a very important aspect of the entire, like, French government, you could say. Which is the idea that France actually has linguistic clarity. Anytime there is something that comes into question in any question of the French language is broken down to this. That's why French is actually very linguistically pure in a way, because everything goes through the Académie de France, Académie Française. Yeah, sometimes they're like, oh well, they're lagged behind and, like, they're not very good, but, like, French is actually, again, linguistically pure. Very fascinating language. Most languages have an academy. I think France is probably the best known one. However, yeah, then you get shit like English is a fluid language. I hate to break it to the, like, every single person ever. English is incredibly fluid. We come up with new fucking words all the fucking time. Like, for God's sakes, I want you to all remember there's gonna be a point in history when, like, the word sus and, like, amogus, or, again, like, sus, amogus, for real, FR for real, and, like, stuff like that. No cap is going to go in a lexicon of some kind in the future. Like, that's the problem. At some point in the future, there's going to have to be somebody who's going to have to record the aspect of for real, no cap. That's going to have to be something people have to, like, understand. There's, like, 3 manuals of style. MLA, APA, technically Chicago. There's There's another one. I used to be able to do APA perfectly. MLA I hate MLA. Fuck, Chicago style is just stupid. That, to suss out, I will say, to suss out is an actual correct thing to say. Using it as like a noun, that's incorrect though. Oh, that doesn't matter. Like, it's Chicago style was awful, Pepper. Chicago style sucks. APA for life. Like, it's that's one of the issues with memes. I think I'm using the proper term of memetic. Memetic is actually a thing. It's the idea of transferring knowledge, effectively transmitting culture through symbols, through writing, pretty much transferring information via the idea of something. When in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, when they are talking about the memes, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about Lamau memes. However, ideas of like for real, like tubular, radical, stuff like that, that's a meme that just transferred over in history. And that's what kind of put it into it. And some people kind of do it, some people don't. It's like, yeah, no, that's pretty rad, man. You know, when you say rad, I'm like, yeah, okay, we kind of understand that of like what you're saying. Rad isn't a word. Rad isn't a thing. Never was a thing. But then it's like, rad is just a short form of radical, but radical became a positive. Radical wasn't a positive thing for years. That's bad. You didn't want to be a radical. But then it was like, yeah, man, radical. Because when I say radical, the first thing you're thinking of fucking guys on skateboards doing kickflips in the fucking lobby, yeah. It's starting to change a lot. Skateboarding is not a crime, it's radical, bro. Tubular. Yeah, it's language is beautiful. Again, I did my entire my entire presentation on like why English is the way it is, and I did that particular presentation in front of a bunch of foreign students, and the look in their eyes as they kind of finally dawned on them that like this is why English is so fucking stupid. It was beautiful. That is what really sold it to me. That's what perfectly sold to me the idea of it all. So we want to do enemy design. We want to do hostile design. When hostile, let's see, hostiles come in all shapes and forms. Each one representing a unique aspect of the current psyche of this reality. All shapes and forms, each one representing a unique aspect of this current psyche of this reality. Some rely on popular culture. Others are simple mimetic. I'm gonna have to do it. Mimetic represent abstractions of concepts. But all hostiles share one common thing. They want to hurt you. When designing a hostile, they have four important aspects. Health, attack value. They have their attack, their defense, attack type, and attack types. Health, attack, defense, attack types. Each hostile is ranked from level. We'll say level 1 to level we'll say 20. I'm dying here. Let me see. For real, no cap. I learned what no cap actually meant. I actually had to ask my like Zoomer friend this. What no cap meant. No cap means you're telling the truth. That's completely honest. Because it's no cap on your tooth. Because it's not a gold tooth or anything. It's the real tooth. Yeah, no falsehood. It was a rapper who came up with it. So when someone says FR, no cap, what they're saying is, for real, I'm not lying to you. For real, no cap. When I realized for real, no cap was like a linguistic side of things, I understand why simplified Chinese came to be and why Mao was right. I understood at that like very moment why Mao was fundamentally correct in the Cultural Revolution. We live in a decadent society. The world does not deserve this. Mao was right. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, for real is an old word. Yeah, we like to truncate things, I've learned. I think that's if we were to call this like a linguistic, if I was to be really fucking pretentious about things, I would say we've hit the linguistic point of history of, how do I want to word this? I think one of the weirdest thing about we've hit the linguistic part in our in English anyway. I don't know about other languages, which is we want to shorten things because everyone take out your magic phone in your fucking pocket right now. Like I think like phones, I think just social media and stuff. We've been wanting to make things shorter, make things smaller to get as much information across as physically possible. And that's something important because here's the thing. When people say, for real, stuff like that, people have verbal tics. It's like, well, it's, it's the, well, and it's the, oh, well, you get this, and like, well, you kind of, people actually have like like people have these tics. People have just say words for the sake of saying words to fill in the gap as they're trying to think of something. Like for me, it's kind of hard to do this because I am me and I am speaking to you through a microphone and you can't see me, but I speak with my hands almost constantly. I'm moving around right now. I'm like making hand movements to like convey something. I have actively like, can you explain Smexy? I'll get to that. You get things like I've done entire like bits explaining I've given a speech explaining how you can give a speech in a more confident way by using hand motions. Because you can usually break down most things into a few key hand motions and people will believe you. And because, fun fact, if you ever have to give a presentation or you ever have to give a group speech or something, there's 3 key things you should always know. You should do the spread your hands wide. You can trust me, and it's one of those, if you spread your hands wide, it's pay attention to me. I am here. I am the big important one right now. Believe in me. If you bring usually if you kind of, I usually like to do the fist in the palm. If you do the fist in the palm, that's a little bit more like, this is the point I'm trying to make. This is really important. You should pay attention to it. Because what happens is people see your hands, they see them kind of come together. It's, okay, this is a key point. You're a little bit aggressive, it's a little bit forward, but it kind of works. And then you have, I usually do the 3 taps with 2 open hands. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, smacking sounds. That's another big one I do quite a bit, because the three big hits immediately kind of says like, okay, it's a rhythmic sound. People will listen to you. I'm a dick. You do not point. You do the 4-finger point. Pointing is accusationally. 4 fingers is like, I'm looking towards something way far beyond you. It's amazing. Works every time. Can you explain the term smexy? God is dead. Like smexy, again, here in the US anyway. Yeah, Mao was right. Smexy and like terms like that, we have this weird thing here in the West of we do not like sex language. Sex is a weird word. We don't like saying it. We don't like fuck is like a perpetually like bad word. I say it all the time because I don't care. It's like, you know, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. But that's like a very like, ooh, cock. It's like, whoa, nunny. That's like you can hear someone say, shit, you know, as they're fucking, you know, they're hurt, but they'll never say like, cock or whatever. It becomes immediately like even some words like penis sounds weird, doesn't seem right. I can't even say it because it's awkward for me. It's awkward for me. Yeah, it's not really a monocle shatter. People don't like it. However, if you add like verbal things to it, it stops being that. It starts being weird. So it's not sexy. It's smexy. It immediately like. Yeah, if you say smexy, like this is smexy, your brain isn't processing necessarily that saying, oh, that's sexy. No, it's smexy. You say it. It's like, what the fuck? Well, it's like threaded words are very interesting. Because what was the one in Canada? Goof. Goof is like fucking fighting words in Canada. You call someone a goof, it's tear off your fucking shirt. You know, you tear off your shirt. It's ready. It's throwdown time. You fucking call someone goofy here in the US. You're hey everybody, how you doing? It's yeah, Sora. We have to find the door to darkness. That's what you get. You fucking goofy. Goof in Canada. Get ready. You know, fist in one hand. You got your fucking bottle of maple syrup in the other hand, and it's ready. It's fucking go time. Yeah, it's perfectly fine with hyperviolence filled with gore galore, but you better not let them. You know, better not let a nipple peek out a little bit. I think like one of the weird things with like gore and stuff, I think we're a little bit more, I wouldn't say we're like acclimated to be better or something. I think we are, what do I want to word this? How do I want to word this? I think here in the States, we are more comfortable with bigger over-the-top things because we can disassociate. We've come to the point where we can disassociate violence sometimes. I'm not saying like we don't understand violence at all. God, no, far from it. But it's kind of the idea like we can understand that is a movie. This is a show. This is a game. We can understand that pretty easily. On the other hand, it's sex is treated as, sex has kind of like this pedestal, you would say. Japan's a little bit weird. I can tell you why Japan's weird. You actually look at a lot of things. Japan censors a lot of shit. Japan censors a lot of things because it's a no-no. You can't show that on you cannot show that on television. However, However, they do not actually view things like panty shots or anything like. They don't really associate that with like, yeah, it's a little pervy, but welcome to it's a fucking comic for a 12-year-old, like 10-year-old, like 15-year-old fucking boys. No shit's gonna have stupid shit like that. It's not really bad because again they've come to kind of disassociate it. It's just cultural thing. It's just cultural. It's a very long. I probably like everybody's kind of got their own thing. I remember the story. It was about one of the reasons why in Mexico. Fun fact. In Mexico, things like Dragon Ball are really popular because one of the big reasons is they were allowed to run it completely uncensored. And people get hurt, people get fucked up in Dragon Ball, and but they're a lot more comfortable with it. While like, because I've been seeing so many One Piece cock edits, One Piece for me, I got a censored version of One Piece here in the States. Like, isn't that like China actually has a very fascinating policy, and I still have like my one thing I want to do one day is I want to make a game that fulfills all of Chinese regulations. Every single one of China's regulations I want to make. And one of the big things with China is that they don't necessarily, how do I want to word that? They do not necessarily want to censor blood necessarily. They want to censor graphic emotion. I believe that's one of the big things. It's like, oh, though that's a lot of blood, and blood is bad. Blood is bad because it makes you think of something big and scary. Yeah, skeletons. Then has like ancestor stuff to worry about, and like people get really pissed. That's like literally like like they don't want you to think something negative or spiritual. Uncensored One Piece, so you get to see their dicks. No, that's just One Piece cock addicts. Comrade Notepad. Hey, I'm waiting for Tencent to give me the call. I'm ready. I am fucking ready. It's like, mind you, I'm infinite social credit. Like it's one of those things. Like China's fascinating. I've always found China very fascinating for a variety of reasons. Not in people like lol Lamau, Tencent Notepad. No, it goes a little bit deeper than. I think like one of the big things with China is like, because I've had to read up on this enough of like what's okay, what's not okay. Like both of that, like what's okay, what's not okay. And some things will get past the censors, other things won't get past the censors. Because one of the big things is like they want to control emotion. They want to control, like, you shouldn't be spiritual, it should be like positive. Like the Ghostwire Tokyo. Actually, that was a good example. This came to mind. China's Ghostwire Tokyo translation pretty much is like, oh, the power belongs to the people. It's like all of it, like, oh, Japan, the people should unite of Japan and be together. It's effectively like they're like communism's ghost communism. Woo! And that's just a thing in that translation because that's what they kind of want to get across. Even though by like all metrics, Ghostwire Tokyo should never arrive in China because it's like, well, you kind of violate some of the rules of spiritualism and stuff. But it doesn't matter because they're okay with it. It's weird shit like that. China is really arbitrary. Very arbitrary when it comes to what's okay, what's not okay. And it's interesting to me. Always has been. Very interesting. Even though there has been some interesting ideas. China, Xi Jinping, my brother, my friend almighty. All I'm saying is, Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Who's the current CEO of Tencent Game? Who's Mr. Ma Huateng or Pony Ma? Pony, also known as Pony Ma. Was he part of the fucking Ma family? That's kind of interesting. Like, Mr. Ma Hutang. My friend. My brother. My comrade. What I need you give me the okay to make you tabletop games. That's all I'm asking. And yeah, that is his literal nickname is Pony Ma. Interesting. Scary Jack Ma always looks like he's gonna eat me. I'm curious. Let's do a 10-cent tabletop RPG. Tell me more. Honor of Kings. Yep, there it is. There's the super money. Here's the super money game that makes $8 billion. Remember this, everybody. All your favorite games, like, oh, it made a couple $1 million, means nothing. It's Arena of Valor. Honor of Kings, baby. That's the money. Gotcha. Huantang. I could be Chairman Mao's top guy. Mr. Mao, I'm ready. A lot of strange Chinese boils down to the concept of personal and political being inseparable. Yeah. Guy's an eccentric. No, you don't say. The logic being that you can't enjoy one thing in your private life and another in your political. Yeah, it's a fascinating duck. And like, I've always had, like, I am ready to give that presentation about, hey, hey, Tencent, you know, China put a limit on how long kids can spend on games. However, if you do this very particular thing, they are not playing a video game, they are playing a tabletop game with their smartphones. Their smartphones with your app on it, and they're going to have the books on your app. They're going to have all the stuff on their thing, but they're playing a tabletop game. It's going to be great. Jack Ma is weird. Jack Ma's a weird dude. Jack Ma is weird. Interesting, dude. Let's each hostile is ranked from level 1 to 20, indicating their total indicating their relative strength and power. Each level confers how do I want it? Each level increases their available. Okay, so because like health can range from, I'm going to say health ranges roughly about from like 10 to about like I would say 100, like 10 to 100 roughly. Attack can only really range from like 2 to about 10 reliably. Same goes from like defense, like 2 to 10 reliably, because you don't actually have that many, like that much, like, I don't want to word. You don't have that much strength overall, and attack type, like attacks. I need to change the names on this. Attacks are just like the, like possible, you know, it's just like possible abilities they will use. So each hostile is ranked from level 1 to 20, indicating their relative strength and power every. How do I want to do this? Because let's do Yik enemies. Yik enemy and original concept art. Wow, look everyone, it's Yik. Onisim 1999. Woo. You buy it on. You want to buy Yik on fucking. How do I download the? Here's Yik. You can buy it on itch apparently. Didn't know that. That's you all by Axe Studios. So this is just a sample version. 3 friends investigate a haunted boombox. As well as original content created by it convey the vibe of the game without spoiling any mention. Why it's what's to play like. A bit of Persona 4, Paper Mario, some Earthbound, and a lot of Wild Arms and Lufia 2. Lufia 2 style reduced. So it's only Alex, Vela, and Claudio. Look, Jesus, look at their health. Petite version. TR tunes by 2 brothers. That's really so you just this is the demo from 2016, and God, look how much health they have. 1200. That's great. I love this. This is why you should always Google everything. Remember that, everybody. Google everything. Because all I'm trying to find is enemy designs. No. Because that's one of the big issues with this game, is that they don't actually tell you any of the fucking enemies. They just kind of exist. We're just gonna, I guess we'll just go with like you lose the truth of Maoism. None of any part of the bundles. Also, why are you eating breakfast? Banana, Turkish tomato, and egg dish. Oof. Yeah, that had to be the proof of concept, I think. So let's see, toss styles rank from level 1 to 20, indicating the relative strength and power. So, generally speaking, how I want to do this is what I want an enemy to look like. Is let's say we're going to do the smileys. This is so Smiley. He's going to be level 1. He's not very strong. He's going to have a health of 10. He's going to have an attack of 2, a defense of 2, and he can use his attacks. It should just say like abilities. I should say abilities are going to be he has. Let me see if I can do this correctly. I mute myself again? No. Okay, cool. His abilities are going to be. That's interesting. I hit something I wasn't supposed to, and now I have this fucking arrow here that I don't want. Did I make a boo-boo somewhere? Sometimes, every now and again, you just make a boo-boo and show white. Fuck is show white space. There we go. That's fun. Hipsters are the enemy of glorious China. So, okay, so it's like basic abilities might be something like, the bite. He has the bite, which is going to do 2x2, 2x2. So it's going to do 2x2. So this is pretty much indicating a 2x2 melee. So we know fundamentally, just with this information, the Smiley can perform a bite attack that does 2 damage twice. He's an attack of 2 and a defense of 2. That's it. You have to beat his attack to block, and you need to beat his defense to block as well. However, we can do like a teenage mutant, what is the abnormal sewer toad or whatever. Teenage abnormal sewer toad, who's going to have a health of like 25, have an attack of 4, have a defense, let's say he has a defense of 6. He's very tough, and his abilities are something like you can do like Razor Sword, which does, he has 1 attack. He's going to do 1 attack times 5. He's going to attack once. He's going to do 5 damage once. Melee. He's going to also inflict the confusion status effect. Actually, no, it wouldn't be the confusion status effect. What would he inflict? No, that's not it. Yes, that would be it. He's going to inflict attribute down. Attribute down if it hits. So he's going to do attribute down melee, which is to say he's going to do 5 damage. He's going to do 5 damage once, and inflict attribute down for 1 turn. So that's his entire thing. That's what he wants to do. But he also is going to have, let's say, sword swinging, where he can do 3 times 2. He's going to attack, do 3 let's say he's going to attack, do 3 damage 3 times, but he's going to deal technically we'll say it's going to be drain 1, which is going to drain someone's HP a little bit. But with this one, he's going to be able to do line melee, because he's just swinging around at everybody. So everybody in the row is going to need to make a defense check against this guy, because he's just a dick. So he's going to roll, his abilities are like D4 or something, and it's just going to be like 1 to 2. He's going to do that. 3 to 4. He's going to do that. Yeah, actually, he most likely he's going to try to do this, but we can also then do ribbit jump, which he gets to move one, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, single, 2, 2, 2, 2 melee. So the entire thing, what he gets to do at any point is that he's going to roll a d6, and he rolled a 4. So he's going to do his sword swinging. So he's going to say, I'm making my attack. He's doing 3 times 3 damage, and everybody in the line deal damage, start taking some damage, which he's not really that dangerous, but if you have a lot of people in the front, it's going to be a lot of damage. They're going to be in danger. But what level would he be? I mean, I guess it would be the... Unless I just take it away and be like, nah, you just don't gotta worry about it. How do you represent this properly? Do I have any other games that do this, or do I just like time to convert them? Because not a single human being is converting any of this over, by the way. Do I have another game that handles enemies? Feast of Legends, maybe. That would be kind of silly if I had Feast of Legends do that. Endless Adventures doesn't. Gachimuchi Nirvana Seekers, I know doesn't. Nadamods sort of does, but it's not the right way. Feast of Legends. Tell me more. Tell me more about what's going on. Okay, so this is just a fucking point buy of everything. Wasn't Feast of Legends the Wendy's RPG? Yes, it was, and I rewrote it out of spite. Because I'm that person who does that. Midnight Anima might have something I'm looking for. Come on, Midnight Anima. Show me the way. Show me that golden path. Let's see. So Maro Slave is just your PD and your MD, because that just means just like how magic resistant you are versus that. We don't really need to worry about that. HP doesn't quite work. Unless I literally just say improvise and go for it. That is honestly an option. Not gonna lie. Just saying improvise is a complete valid option in this case. But okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play this smart. Okay, we're gonna play this real smart. Otherwise known as, I'm going to be incredibly fucking lazy about this, because I am that person. So what we need to do is we need to go here, we need to find the right table, because if I don't find the right table, it will break and I will feel sad. We need this. So what we need to do, instead of vials, we need to do hostile statistic, hostile stat. We need to find, why are you, oh wait, I forgot there's a fucking, I forgot there's this weird like hidden cell in this fucking thing for some godforsaken reason. We do that, and then we delete 2 columns. There we are. There we go. Perfect. So we need to do hostile stat, which is going to be health, attack, defense, abilities. Let's do description and then range. So health. The overall punishment a hostile can take before collapsing. Attack. Let's see. Attack. The value the hero must beat to defend against an attack from this hostile. The value the hero must beat to strike the hostile with an attack, I should say, with an attack. Abilities. strangeness the hostile can perform. Range, we're going to do range roughly from 10 to 100. Attacks are actually, we're going to do about 10 to 50. Attack is going to be from 2 to 10. Defense from 2 to about 10. Abilities is either going to be 1 to we'll say 12. 1 to 12 abilities they can perform. Strangeness. Each hostile is ranked from level 1 to 20, indicating their relative strength and power. Relative strength and power. At level 1. At level 1. Actually, no. Each hostile is ranked from level 1 to 20, indicating their relative strength and power. A hostile. What I can do. This is gonna be really fucking jank, by the way, but it should work. We're gonna do that. We're going to put in a column to the right. We're going to say level. Don't really need any of this right now. It's gonna be level 1. It's gonna be level 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah. We're going to have a nice little thing here. We're going to say health. We need to do column to the right. Let's see, health, attack, defense, and then we do ability PP. Ability PP. Let's see, each hostile is ranked from level 1 to 20, indicating the relative strength and power. A enemy. Let's see. Actually a baseline version of the enemy is created. We'll do something like this. That's actually what we can do. I know what we can do. Think smart. We do not need one column. We need to get rid of this column, and then what we get to do is we get to do the violent. We get to do the attack defense. So baseline version of the enemy starts at level 1, and every subsequent increase in power. Every subsequent increase in power increases the base HP. The base HP, actually base health HP. If I'm not reading chat, I'm sorry. I'm getting focused right now. Increases the base HP of the hostile, as well as increases. Grants them more attack slash defense. Actually, grants them additional points for their attack slash defense to a maximum of 10. And increases their total PP for each. Increases their total PP per. Actually, number of abilities, and increases their total PP per ability. Because again, they don't have to worry about AP because AP isn't a thing for them. So we do number of abilities, and then we do PP per ability. Generally speaking, we're looking at about like 10 PP per ability. That's not really a lot. Number of abilities, you're going to have 1. Attack defense, you're going to have about 2 on average. So you're going to have about 4 points to work with. and health is going to be about like 10. It is going to be 10 to 12. We're going to say that's going to be so you're going to get +1, +1. You're going to get +2, actually no, +1, actually 11, 12. So if we do this method, actually what we can do, we can even be even lazier and just go to level 10 and just say like, yeah, everything after this is all the same track. We can do something like this, because if we do this, that would be 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. That should be a very consistent amount, but we can kind of guesstimate it. Not a great idea, but it's going to work. Tell me this Google search brings himself suffering with the most inane parts. Like, here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. Because if I don't answer this question, there's going to be questions later on like, how do I make an enemy? Because I could just say, eyeball an enemy. I could say that. It could be really fucking easy. But if I don't put this section in, someone's going to ask me later on, how do I make an enemy? And so I'm like, I need to put a system in, but I don't want to stat out every enemy in Yik, because fun fact, I don't know every enemy in Yik, and they make no fucking sense. There is no logical consistency. There is no stats. There is no anything to anything in Yik. That's what Renegade did for the Power Rangers. It's crap. Like, Power Ranger... Essence 20 has its own issues, trust me. Essence 20 got its own fucking issues. And like, I usually like to provide people at least something to work with, especially when it comes to like fighting and combat, because this, it's like, again, I would like to not, I don't like it when people eyeball things. Like, that's kind of a, sometimes it gets a little bit difficult, and I'm going to have to put a side note in here being like, this is just an estimate if you want to do like something rough with it. So we could do like +2, so it'd be +1. So if we do +1 across the board, something like this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do every other point, so something like this. So you have a steady HP increase. The number of abilities you're going to do like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 PP per ability. That would be 12, 12, 14, 14, 16, 16, 18, 18, 20. So a consistent, let's just say level, let's make a level 1. We want to make a level 1. What would be a good idea? Rat with gun. Yeah, there we go. We're making a rat with a gun. That's there. He's level 1. He's a level 1 rat with gun. Rat with gun. Level 1. So his base, we're going to say his base HP is going to be, actually base, his HP is, we can actually say there's going to be 8 to 12. If I wanted to have a little bit more randomization in it, I probably could, but we're going to say his HP is 8, and he's going to have 3, he's going to have attack 3, defense 1. He's not supposed to be very threatening. He has one ability. That one ability is going to be shoot. His one ability is going to do shoot, and it's going to do... Scheiße. Actually, no, wait a second. What am I talking about? I have a damage chart up here. I have a damage chart. I should use the damage chart. Damage chart is my friend. And we're going to do a damage chart. It's right here. So we can just say, okay, cool. He can spend 10 PP. He's going to do 2 damage. He's going to do 2 damage, and we're going to say it's going to do 2 times. So let's just say that's 10. We're going to say that's 10. He can't really do much else, but he's going to do 2 by 2 damage, 2 by 2 damage. It's going to be ranged, and it's going to be ranged. That's his entire gimmick. That's all he can really do. However, then we want to make Rat with Gun level 8. We'll say level 8. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We increase his HP by 14. That would mean he has at 22 HP. His attack, as he would have gained at the level, he gave level 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 additional points to spend. So let's bump his attack up to 6 and his defense up to, so that would mean he has 3. And his defense is up to, let's increase his attack up to 8 and his defense up to 4. He's very hard to block because he's a rat with a gun. His shoot has been upgraded to he shoots twice at 4 damage, ranged, and let's say range. And he also has the, actually he shoots at range and he does fire damage. And he also does, he has the kneecap ability, which only shoots once at 5 damage, range, and it's attribute down. Attribute down because he fucking shoots you in the goddamn knee. He's still kind of dangerous, like he can just still kind of fuck your day up. That's the entire point. There we go. Not perfect, but it should work. Which I'm also going to put in this very funny note. Side note. This is This is winging it. Hostiles come in all shapes and forms. Making a coherent list of enemies would be next to impossible. Would be next to impossible to do. So instead, I'm providing some nifty tools to create your own. Main idea is to keep attack and defense manageable, while making abilities fuck. Doesn't seem right. Fuck. Something wrong with this. Don't know what it is. Damn it. God, I fucking hate Yick. Oh geez. Oh Jesus. There's people have been talking. Let's see. New system. I also struggle with Jesus fuck how do I intend to balance encounters. People should eyeball things because they want to, not because they have to. The point I was trying to make is Essence 20 curious case rather than making it you should just make an Essence 20 curious case rather than make a micro case for each. I might do that. My main system for years was, and the default is how to balance in game is don't. Just needs to get burned in a fire along with Renegade. Remind 3.5 homebrews I made in college, in high school. The opponents won't ever admit there's anything wrong with it. It's perfectly runnable. Sure, if you just inject a shit ton of 5e and make it up shit on the fly. The suffering is going postal. We need to self-hug. Something's wrong with me too. Nothing's wrong with me. Something's got out. Something's gotta get out. Yeah, it's. I can see in my mind something is wrong here. Something not adding up. I don't know what's not adding up though. Because one of the problems is Yick has no behind the scenes math behind it. It's completely illogical. And normally what I would do in this situation is try to find logic in it. And what do you do then? Do you just wing it? Honest to God, do you just fucking wing it? Just being like, just assign some random numbers to it and hope for the best. But that's not right. That's not right in a game like this. Come on, Notepad, get your shit together. Enemy tables. Yeah, let's check. There's got to be an answer here. There honestly has to be a 40. There has to be an. Like, there has to be a fucking. There has to be an answer. There has to be an answer. To the collection. When in doubt, to the collection. Collection has the answer. Let's see. What would be a good one? Fantasy movie? What do I got? Give him like 3 less HP than the players and 2 less damage per attack or something. That's one of the issues, is that the fights in Yick are bullshit. They make no sense, because everything's percentile based. But I don't want to go percentile based, because I want to keep the combat system in this game, and I think the combat system works. The idea is there, it's just setting up the enemies, and I knew setting up the enemies was going to be difficult. There has to be an answer. There has to be an answer. I know there's an answer. I just don't know what it is. This is a very pretty game. You should look at it. Trail of Vagrant Stars, made by my friend Law. He's a very cool dude. Chop, sorry I'm stealing all your shit. So, let's think. There has to be an answer here. Now, you want to know why there's an answer here? Because I know there is one. What do we need? Honest to God, what do we need right fucking now? Looking at this game, looking at what I need, looking at the scene. These are the only things we need to determine. We need to determine their health. We need to determine their attack value. We need their defense value and what the fuck they're doing. That's all we need. Because I think the... What is the answer? I'm making an attack. There's an enemy in front of me. I'm in the back line. He's in the front line. I want to make an AE attack. What do? I spend 1 AE to make the AE attack. I then say, hey, I want to hurt this guy. I really want to hurt this guy. I'm going to opt to make this a heavy attack with my offensive psi ability. I know I have 4d4. That is my offensive psi ability die. I'm going to make a check with my offensive psi ability. I know I'm going to be doing 3 damage. 3 damage per tick. What's his defense? His defense is 3. So on my d4s, for every 3, I'm going to do 2 damage. Let's roll the dice real fast. I score 1-3. Oop. I deal 2 damage to him. He reduces his health. It's his turn. The heavy attack didn't pay off very well. It's his turn. He's going to make an attack. He has a range attack. He's going to attack me in the back row. He has an attack value of, let's say, 3. I have a defense value of 0. I'm going to need to roll my I'm going to roll my d20. I'm going to do this. I rolled a 6. I defend against 1 attack because he's going to attack twice for 3 damage. I take 3 damage. Next round, I want to be more consistent. I want to take my 4d4, spend my 3 AE, and I roll again. I need to hit above a 3, right? You're right. I roll only 1 hit, and I only roll 1 of the millennial die. Not doing too hot. Only going to do 1 damage. That means I'm going to only do 2 damage. Then I got to think about it again. I'm not doing too hot. I'm burning too much AE. However, looking at my stats here. Hey, you know what? I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to burn 1 AE. Burn 1 AE, convert. I'm going to burn 2 AE, convert 2 of my dice into 3s. Congratulations, I've hit 3 times. I've done 3 damage. I'm using my AE to do a little bit more damage. 3 damage on him. We go back. Enemy turn. He has to attack the guy in the front row now. He's going to make his attack. His attack is a solid value. That's what we need to think about. Attacking and defending are solid values. They cannot go above 12, however, because that's the highest amount of ego die you can get. You can only get a 12 on that. So what do you fucking do? Ah! Notepad, give it to your urge, just kill. Logarithmic HP and damage, yeah, that might... Unless we say fuck the attack and defense values, those don't increase as much. So we don't have to worry about them as much. So we do something like... Because the idea isn't necessarily to do a lot of damage in that regard. The idea is more along the lines of having... Because you still want to hit, so you're not really going to be doing that much damage. Consistency here, this is important. We need to make this consistent. Increase the base by 2, going both directions. So this would be 10 to 14, 12 to 16, 14 to 18, 16 to 20, 18 to 22, 20 to 24, 22 to 26, 24 to 28, 26 to 26 to 30, but we then decrease it down to something like 6. We just double the value. So if we double the value, it'd be something like, it's okay if they have less HP. They don't need that much HP. That's not the point. The point isn't that they have a lot of HP. The point is that they have a decent amount of HP to bulk themselves up. This is the new problem, child. But we need to make a note about that healing as well. That's important. We need to put you right here, because they don't have to worry about an AE cost, because they can just get to do it. That's what we can do. So we do something like this. You're not going to fit, are you? Actually, we don't need to do number. We'll do number of attacks. Number of attacks, which is important because... Actually, no, what am I doing? Notepad, what are you thinking? Thinking, you can see it. You can see it. Where are you? Insert a column below, put this right here, number of attacks. So instead of hitting once, you're gonna hit. Actually, no. What we can do number of attacks here. We're gonna make a completely separate section for monster abilities, because if we do that, what we can do this is we can make this super simple. So make this super simple, super easy, because we don't have to think about it too hard now, do we? No, that's not. Put attack defense 5 at level 4. Let's see. 5 attack defense at level 4. 5 it's so it'd be more like 6, 7, 8. So it'd be more like this. Actually, 7 and 11, so it'd be more like this then. So we got a nice curve going upwards. So 4 at 6, 6 at 6, 5. So 5 at 6, 5 at 4, 6 at 6. Okay, so we got a nice upward curve. Because the idea would be that you can just take this and then keep applying the same. What I could do is this like 10 plus, 10 like 11 plus, which would be plus 2, which would be actually plus 1 to plus 5 would be plus 1 to plus. It would, the thing is, it's plus 2 plus 2. It would just be plus 2 pretty much. Plus 1 to plus 2. Then would be plus 1, 3 levels. The number of abilities, 5. It would just be 5 plus at that point. It doesn't really matter. Then it would just be 20. It'd be plus 2 every 2 levels. So the curve keeps going up and on an odd angle. With that, the curve attack doubles at every 8 levels. Yeah. Because with this, what should occur here is that every 3 levels you're going to get that. So at like level 14, so it's going to be like 11, so 11 you're going to get +1. You're just going to get flat +1 because at that point you're kind of hitting end game tier. These are a little bit difficult. So you could just subtract 8 from the level you want. Oh, yeah. Actually, we can just do something like that. Something like this. Math gets a little bit wonky, but I don't think it really matters all that much. So if I want to do, let's do a quick little bit of math here. So if we do level 14, that would be 14 minus 8. That would be 6. That would be, so at 14, you'd have 12, roughly. Okay, that works. A little bit of maths behind it, but I don't think that really matters too much. But it's kind of like, at a certain level, the idea being like you kind of hit a little bit of a plateau when it comes to fighting. So what we need to do is, they don't have this. So we go back up here. Targets they don't have AE cost, luckily, but what we can do because they don't have AE cost, they only have a number of attacks. Actually, no, it would be number of strikes. If they cannot defend. AE cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can put 5+ here. So it's kind of like the idea, same as above. So 1, 2 would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's just 5+. So this is kind of the idea. If you want to hit someone like 6 times, you're just going to spend 6. That's kind of the idea. Well, 1 is always going to be free. Actually, I don't need. Let's delete these 2 rows. We can keep this right there. Elements, fine. Can I? Element, what I can do is I can remove the mortal because they cannot use mortal. Delete row. They cannot use. Yeah. Yeah, they can't actually. No, they can use. Put an image right there. Actually, what we can do right here is we can do a little bit of explanation about how things work a little bit, being like, here are just some basic abilities for you to just kind of. I can make a few example enemies here. That's what I'll do. I'll make a few example enemies here, use this to explain it, which we can then tie it back to, if we go all the way back up here. Status ailment, we go down here, which can we fit both of them in here? No, I cannot. Let's see. We have to cut out. We're going to cut attribute. We're going to cut protect. We're going to cut this. Reflect is fine, regen is fine, resist element, skill up. We're going to cut skill up. So what we do is the hostile increases their damage by 1+1 and defense by, actually they increases their, actually no, we want to do, we can do that. Increases their attack and defense by 1. They're just going to have 5 across the board, so that's all they really need to spend on these. We'll keep the numbers pretty simple. We can edit those as need be. We can do the hostile doubles their speed, because that's kind of the idea, is like, oh no, they're like quickly, they're going faster, they're going to actively reflects half damage back of the enemy which struck them. The hostile restores. We'll do 2d6 HP at the start of their turn. Resist element. The hostile becomes resistant to an element having rounding down. Status ailment. Attribute down. The hero. As this confused. The hero of man. Drain. This is fine. Weaken element. Pull. Push. That's also okay. We do this. Power up. Haste. Actually, we can cut this. We can just keep all of these in place. You're not gonna let me do this, are you? Can I do some finagling? Let's do some finagling. Yeah, gamers. Yeah, because we don't need weaken element. Because that's just going to be a pain in the ass to manage, and we're okay with not managing things. We go hit 2 there. That means we got to put... Are you going to let me get away with this? Are you going to let me get away with this? We need to add in... Stun. It's just a little bit of a cost, a little bit of a ha ha ha, fuck you. At the end of the round, we've done, it's cutting it a little bit tight, but we can manage. These monsters don't have AE damage. Monsters don't have AE, but they can just do events and then stances. They wouldn't have they have stances. You know when you enter a Zen state of being where you're trying to like... You can clearly understand what you're trying to see, but you just don't know what the fuck you're looking at? Okay, no. Okay, we're gonna make an example enemy. Okay, we're going to make a level 2. We're going to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Rat. He's going to be level 2. And we're also going to be making TN 69,000. That's the joke. He's a Terminator reference, and he's going to be level 8. He's very dangerous. So our Teenage Mutant Ninja Rat at level 2, he's going to have HP of, let's say he's not going to be very strong, but let's say he's going to have 8 HP. His attack is going to be 3, but his defense is going to be only 1. He does not have very high defense or attack. His entire thing is to be more annoying than anything. He is a meat shield. He has one ability, but at level 2, he can spend 12 points on his ability. So let's make an ability for him. Cool. I want to make... He is going to be making a... he's going to make a ninja. He's going to make Ninja Strike. His big thing is that he can attack multiple times because he has 12 PP. He can spend 12 PP per ability. Ninja Strike means that he's going to deal... we will say 2 damage. He's going to do 2 damage, so that means he's going to be spending 5. He's going to be doing 2 damage 3 times. So 2 damage 3 times, that means he's going to be spending 5 plus 2, so he's currently at 7. To the line, that means he is currently at 12. That's pretty much it. He's going to be doing that, and it's going to be a melee attack. That's who he is. He can Ninja Strike everybody in the row. He's going to do 2 times 3 damage. He's not very hard to actually attack, and he's not very hard to defend against. He's just annoying. So that's 12 PP. He's not supposed to be very scary. He's just supposed to bulk up combat encounters. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Rat level 2. So what I can do is abilities. And then we can do... What you're looking at is your soul survivor. Notepad, no! That's your soul survivor. That's a you from another reality. No, that's just a tiger ball. See... Here, give me 1 second. I need to bring somebody on. Give me 1 second. Do I not have him? I'm gonna feel really sad if I don't have him. Give me 1 second. I need to bring somebody on. Don't worry. Don't worry. Manly, you're gonna co-host. There you go. Manly's co-hosting. Hello, Manly. It's been a while. Did you finish Yek? Not yet. I literally the last episode was cock and ball torture, just a prolonged cock and ball torture session. It was great. Manly doesn't want to be on. Manly is not ready to be on stream for some reason. He doesn't want to be my co-host. What? I see there's nothing wrong, Manly. You are a great co-host. Actually, let me check something real fast. We did kiss Rory last time, though. That was the like emotionally impactful thing. We got to kiss Rory and we got to kiss Vela. And that was like those are the 2 important things that happened last stream. Manly's just mad that he's being overrepresented. Yo, see, Manly's the right co-host we need. Be your co-host next Yik stream. No, I just might put another Alex in the corner. And just put multiple Alexes. And just throughout the screen, just activate more Alexes until they're just all over the screen. So you can't see anything except Alex. See, I do have my regular co-host for the DeWong streams are of course let me bring her up real fast. This is Maguka. This is my this is a DeWong stream. However, this is not a DeWong stream. This is a Notepad is given the fuck up stream. No, I don't. Overly large yet. Oh, Manly, why are you so massive that you get in the way of everything? Good job, Manly. There you go. Manly's a great co-host. So that's our. I'm getting pinged. He pinged me that he's mad at me. He sent me a cat shit yourself image. You know it's serious. Level 8. So if we're doing a level 8 enemy, he's 13 to 26 health. We're going to say he has HP of 25. He has a attack of, let's see, level 8. He has 7 points to distribute. He has an attack of, he's going to have an attack of 3 and a defense of 4. He's actually kind of hard to hit if you aren't really trained for it. Actually, we're going to do an attack of 2. However, he has 3 abilities. 3 abilities in which he can spend 18 points each on. That's the big idea. He can spend 18 points each. 18 PP. So, let's do his first one, which is we're going to call the Terminator. We're going to call the Donginator. The Donginator. Inator. Yes, Donginator. The Donginator. Which is going to do 3. It's going to do 3, 6. It's going to do. We're going to say it's going to do 3 damage. It's going to have. He's going to have healing. It's going to target a single person, and it's going to target someone 5 times. So it's going to be 5. So it's going to be 10. That's already 15. However, he's got 3 more points to spend on anything he feels like. I'll probably end up doing what I can do. See if I want to be real mean. Is I can put another table in here for like effects. Like I put like effects right here, which would be like heavy attack, which would be like hostile prevents the use of the millennial die. At like 3. Actually be like 5, and then be like unstoppable. The hostile will always deal the minimum amount will always deal 1 hit. Will always deal 1 hit of damage. Will always deal 1 hit of damage. I could probably think of some more effects, but just kind of like the basic idea of like, oh, I know. Kill return. Hostile takes another action if they down a hero. There's probably some more I could think of here to kind of add the bulk that up. We can do special effects. There we go. We don't even have enough for that. See, if there's anything wrong with this particular system right now, is that it does not deal very well with doing multiple things. So if the Donginator is doing 3 damage 3 times, we can also, with that, we reduce it down to 3, which would be 10. 10, and then we do 3, which would be 13. That means we have 5 points left. That means we can spend it on do we want to word this? Actually, yeah, we can do the Dominator is going to push you, actually. So it's going to do 3 damage 3 times, and it's going to be ranged. We can do the Penetrator, which is going to do 8 damage, which is going to do a shit ton of damage. It's going to do 8 damage. Therefore, it's going to be worth 15. Let's say it's going to do 3 damage. However, it's going to do it. It's going to do it if we do 3 damage, and we just want to do it a shit ton of times. Actually, no, we do it 1 time. Actually, no, we do the damage. We do big damage. We can do 4 damage. It's going to do 4 damage 1 time. That would be, it's 15. We could probably... Yeah, I think the math is a little bit fucky-wucky here. DeWong, yeah. Making an RPG company VTuber setting VT made something for the vote, maybe. I have debated on throwing my hat in with the VTuber world building. I've debated on throwing my hat in there. However, I have zero idea what the fuck they're looking for. I can be like, in complete honesty, I have no idea what they're going for. I feel like Notepad put you knowing that you can't go down over the murder room in your sleep. Yeah, pretty much. JoJo is fun. However, I will be the first one to say JoJo Part 1 and Part 2 are very different from the rest. JoJo 3 is not my favorite, actually. My absolute favorite is Part 5. If I were to do a fucking power level, if I were to do power levels, I would say Steel Ball Run, but that feels like a completely different fucking thing. Part 5. Part 1 and 2 I kind of blend together. Like I kind of associate, I put 1 and 2 together. That's like my big thing. Then I usually put like 4 like very close to that. I like 4. Here's the thing. I like Part 4. There's one issue with Part 4. And the one issue with Part 4 is that we do not get Yoshikage Kira till kind of the end. Like it's roughly the end, but I built a new appreciation of Part 4 after I learned kind of the reason why it was that way, and I learned to appreciate it a bit more. 3 is interesting. I like parts of 3. I like them in Egypt. I like the last half of Part 3. The first half is a little bit slow. Not my favorite bit. I would say like right at the end, that's when I think Part 3 really shines. Part 8. Never read Part 8. Never read Part 8. Part 6, Stone Ocean. Stone Ocean is weird. Stone Ocean's real fucking weird because I felt like Araki didn't know what he was doing. Like 6, like 3 I can forgive. Here's the thing, I can forgive 3 at all points because like he was experimenting with something completely different. I can understand why 3. I think again that's why I say like near the end when he kind of got what he was doing, I like it a little bit more. 6 was weird, and I don't much care for 6 because I never really gelled with any of the characters as much. And the powers got a lot more, how do I want to word it? They weren't as interesting to me. Because even in like Part 5, you had some like interesting little powers. You had the idea of, here's a zipper, like here is, here I can create a zipper and I can do things in the zipper. That's an interesting power. Like you got like, okay, there's some stuff going on here. you have you have Journey of Gold experience and the multitude of powers there. You have even Fugo, even though Fugo is fucking useless and goes away. Aerosmith, stuff like that. Part 8, from what I've seen of Part 8, it's a fucking weird trip. That's all I know. It's a fucking weird adventure, and I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, half of me wants to, like, change some of the numbers here, like, really badly. And the other half of me is like, don't change the numbers. That's a terrible idea. Unless I do something like that. So 4 damage would be 15 at 3. So 4 damage 3 times. That's the penetrator in melee. That's the idea. But I guess I don't need to spend everything. That's the idea. I don't need to spend all the points. Actually, we can do acidic goop. Doesn't do any damage. Let's say it doesn't do. It only does 1 damage 2 times. It only does 1 damage. Actually, it does 0 damage. However, if he uses acidic goop on you, he is going to target the line. So it's worth 5. It's going to be water element. That's 10. And it's going to last 2. It's going. Actually, no, not going to be water. It's going to last 2 status rounds. It's going to last 2 rounds. That's 5, 10, and then we do confused. And we inflict confused. So the entire idea behind acidic goop is that he is doing this ability. You need to dodge. Like, you need to just, if you fail the dodge, you don't roll high enough, you get gooped. And if you get gooped, you're not having a good time. But his big thing is that he's very easy to dodge. He's very easy to get out of the way of, and that's what you want to do. However, that's where things get complicated. It feels really low for his abilities, though. 2 and 4. That's still 6. I feel, wait, level 8. Level 8 should mean, no, he's got 1 more. That's only 6. So let's say he has, there we go, 3. Actually, we can reduce his defense to 3, increase his attack 4, 4, 3. That's still pretty damn low, but think about it like this. You're going to have like 1 d20. Since you're only really going to have 1 d20. He wants to target the weak. That's the idea. He's a level 8. He wants to target the weak. He's also a brick shithouse. He's not. He's going to target the people without a huge amount. Like you can block 1 or 2 abilities, but not all of them. Acidic goop doesn't do anything. It just inflicts confused on you. Which the idea behind confused is, if you perform any action except defend or recovery, you're going to get hurt by it. Unless he subs that out for attribute down. That's the idea. He wants to put attribute down on you instead. I need to see this in motion a little bit more, but these stats feel they need to be a little higher at level 8, but they also don't, because again, you're going to be, if you're rolling d6s for your defense, that means like I rolled 4d6 and I just scored 1 success. The only issue is like if you do a single attack and then like you just do the millennial die, and the millennial die is like mostly going to do it, but if you're doing 1 attack at that level, you're probably just going to afford heavy attack at that point and just ignore that aspect of it. So I think I need to probably clean up some of the 5 cost things, just kind of finagle some points there. That should work. But like here's 2 example enemies. There we go, we'll do some example hostiles. actually, what I should do is yeah, the 37 cars on Mars. Yeah. We don't talk about the 37 cars on Mars. Well, here's the weird thing with the 37 cars on Mars. If you want to see how it makes complete fucking sense, during part six, they White Stake remakes the universe 38 times, I believe, before the absolute ending. So what a so the problem is, since he remakes the world 37, I think it's 38 times. Since he remakes the world that many times, Cars was defeated 37 times because it is only remakes the Earth, doesn't remake Mars. So they kept shooting Cars into fucking space, and then one Cars comes down. He's like, I'm okay with people now. The original Cars, I believe. And then there's also the Ghost Cop one. Yeah, Ghost Cop Yoshikage Kira. That's a fucking one. No, not even Ghost Cop. It's fucking Ghost Assassin Yoshikage Kira. That's an entire plot book. They're actually thinking about doing I think they were trying to do an anime about that one. I remember them talking about that. This has been a while ago, though. Though, honestly, Ghost Assassin, literally a Ghost Assassin, a ghost tasked with killing other ghosts. Chef's kiss. Chef's kissu. So what we want to do is, actually, we should do side note. Let's see, important enemies and guardians. Let's see, the rules covered here. The rules covered here are for, quote, standard hostiles. They are threats in the same. They are threats in the same way that. They are threats, but not quote not major ones. When the heroes encounter an important enemy or guardian or important enemy, then they'll feel, actually I should say, when the heroes encounter an important enemy, feel free to assign as much as, feel free to do whatever you feel like. The Proto Master, do whatever the Proto Master feels like. Generally speaking, they are powerful. They are more powerful than the traditional enemy. Generally speaking, they are around two levels, 2 to 3 levels higher than every enemy in the area. Generally speaking, they are around 2 to 3 levels higher than every enemy in the area, as well as have plus 5 PP for every ability. For every ability they possess. Guardians and other agents of the Universal Will. Universal Will are not traditionally defeated. Instead requiring the heroes to perform some kind of, quote, combat puzzle to solve them. Attacking specific parts, objects in the environment, or simply enduring them long enough to prove their worth. Never let a guardian fight be simple, nor in instant loss. Yeah, like, this is the kind of the basic note being like, some enemies are you're just going to encounter some enemies which are not like, here's a traditional enemy. Like, feel free to do things like this. Like, these are, like, I can't, like, and then we're going to put another side note. We're going to do side note on difficulty. The heroes current level is the the hero's current level is representative of their current power. The enemy, they are able actually an easy current power level, an easy encounter has enemy has 1 to 4 has either a set of lower level enemies or a single equal level enemy. Or standard encounters has a set of equally leveled enemies, or a stronger enemy, while a hard encounter is often composed of far more difficult enemies in higher level ones. There's no shame in running away. Yeah, so generally speaking, it's like a set of them, gonna be like a few of them. Damn, I want the fucking end for that one. Let's see, 12 levels higher than the if I wanted it to be 12 levels higher than the monsters in the area. Yeah, you can do that. I don't like here. This is actually what I should do. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the final side note. Side note. The most important note. All of this is bullshit. All of this is bullshit. You're the proto master of this reality. The universal will does not care. This is simply an abstraction of your current. This is simply an abstraction of your current willpower extending itself to the benefit of the heroes, and in turn the watchers. However, watchers don't want to gaze upon a hopeless struggle just as much as they don't want to see a simple endeavor. Hurt them, break them. Hurt them, break them. But remember, your reality is doomed if they fail. but perhaps you want to die on your own terms. That's the idea, kind of like. Purple Haze feedback was a cool idea for a stand, but the problem was it was like it's just not useful. It's either completely broken or completely useless. That's the beautiful thing with it. So hopefully that answers your. So hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully this is good enough for you, Saffron Knight. The answer of, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not your fucking mom. Okay. I believe that should be good. Technically what I gotta do is advancement. Okay. I've been streaming for like 3 hours. I'm gonna call it here for today. Thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Most likely what's going to occur. So tomorrow we have to deal. I'm going to be making the Cruelty Squad detox video. After the Cruelty Squad detox video, I'm going to be probably streaming Yick again. And on Friday, we are going. But it's not done. The Notepad must die. We go until it's done. The entire idea there is we go until I get a specific section done. It was just combat today. It's Friday. We will most likely wrap up the entirety of Soul Survivor. That's my one goal. Probably just doing some side notes things. Adding in the advancement system is going to be important. That's going to be the main thing, and then I'll probably go through and double check everything because something still feels a little bit wiggy wonky about it, and I can't put my finger on what it is. This might be literally a shelve it until it's there. It's one of those things like shelve it until it's. I have like the gold path in it. If I have the gold path in it, I think it'll work. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time.